Come on, Livingston, we're gonna go on and on and on. Together we can make it. We're gonna go on and on and on. Come on, Livingston.
Knocks it through. Mullen bursting into the box. Josh Mullen.
Together we can make it.
Mullen's ball across. It's turned in. It's Pittman who's got it. Livingston leads.
Can they get the ball back in? O'Brien. Lead! And Livingston have the lead! Man, score.
If we march to
The full-time whistle blows and David Hay celebrates. And the Livingston fans join in exultation.
come on, Livingston.
Livingston have the lead against Rangers, and they are certainly rising to a few occasions on their return to the top flight in Scotland.
Come on, Livingston. We're gonna
You're listening to TalkLivi, your go-to podcast for all Livi fans to hear the latest about the club and listen to after-match reaction from the manager and players. This week I'm joined by the usual lads, Ewan and Callum, to discuss what's been another busy week for the club. Boys, we had our Christmas night out on Friday. Good night, wasn't it?
I mean, you'll probably be able to tell by my voice at points through the podcast that I've had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Very, very enjoyable occasion.
Isn't it? We even got the quiz cards out for some reason. Who takes quiz cards on a night out?
Rory Walker.
Rory Walker does, but
Good shout. Anyway,
quite heed that.
yeah, it did actually. Callum, you came up with a couple of belting answers.
Yeah, ended up winning, just as usual. So
I lost because I had Callum Law.
Anyway, what's coming up this week?
on this week's episode, we hear from Gary Holt and hat-trick hero Lyndon Dykes as they give us post-match reaction following the Ross County game.
We'll then look back at the game with the Staggies and what was a historic afternoon for the Lions.
It's another edition of feature What Does Your Fox In? We take inspiration from the hit TV show Room 101, find out what does our Fox in this week.
We've got 2 games to preview this week. We first take a look at the trip north to face Aberdeen at Pittodrie on Boxing Day.
Next up, it's TalkLivi Question time. We ask you to get in touch with your questions for us.
And finally, we look ahead to Sunday's game as we welcome Jack Ross and his Hibs side to the Tony Macaroni Arena.
So first up, let's see what the gaffer had to say following an emphatic win over Ross County at the weekend.
Well, look, you win the game 4-0, clean sheet, 3 points, 4 good goals. Performance-wise, no, first half I thought we were off it. I didn't think we were at it enough. I didn't think we'd gone off game plan as such. And don't get me wrong, Ross County ain't going to come up and let you just play it at times and put your own stand. But the pleasing thing was we came in 2 goals up, 2 good goals. You come in at half time. The players are actually giving you the info they're not happy. They know they're not happy, they know they're not playing well, they know they're not doing the things right that you ask them to do and they can do. So you find tune it at half time, you put a wee rock up, one or two who can take it, who will drive the team on, and I certainly think we got that second half and could have scored more goals. Second half was brilliant. Indeed, I thought his first goal was really good. I thought really good, peeled off well, knew the space was there, knew that we stand if he could get the ball to him he was going to get a chance and goal, and I thought he struck it really well. His header was brilliant, similar to the goal against Kilmarnock, getting across the man, wee flick in, and it's another one at a big stretch I'll be happy with, because it's the thing we've been working with, big stretch against London to get him focused in them areas. But the pleasing thing is, and that's what I mean, from second half to first half, we weren't getting in the areas, we weren't getting London in them areas to get on the end of things. We were crossing it from too deep, we were doing things that were alien and not conducive to getting us the goals. Although we scored 2 good goals first half, we weren't happy with the performance. The players weren't happy, and that's a good thing to have. Aye, definitely. He told me kind of headed a bomb. I'm like, well, that's 2 headers you've scored in 3 games, so you're doing something right. But no, I think he's certainly grown into the role of being the focal point of the team. He had at Queensway with Dobie, that Dobie was the focal point of the team and Lyndon was his hod carrier, go and fetch, carry, battering ram. So he's a focal point of our team. He's grown into that role. He knows now that it's about holding the ball up, bringing others into play, but it's also stretching the game when we need to stretch it. And backlines don't like getting stretched. They don't like facing their own goal. So, and he's very good at it. So he's certainly enjoying it, and it's been a big learning curve for him. It's a lot of info to take on. It's a lot of responsibility. And I think he's certainly taking it on, and I think you've seen that with his performances and his goals he's scored. No, because look, we're at a club and a stage in football that or any club in Scotland, any club in the world, the players are got a value, and if they're playing well, it's somebody wants them. So I ain't worried about it, because it's always going to be for the best of the club. Simple as that, and we know that, he knows that, and he just wants to get his head down and learn and play, and that's a good thing. It's his first year at this level. He's enjoying it, he's embracing it, and let's grow it.
And now here's the thoughts of the history maker, Lyndon Dykes.
No, I'm really pleased with it, so hopefully they keep coming. I think it was a perfect one as well, went right header, so now I'm buzzing, it's good. Yeah, I was, to be honest. Just was hoping I got the chance, and obviously Marv made that great run at the end and crossed the ball, and I was thrilled that it went in, and I was thrilled that we got 3 points and we kept a clean sheet as well, so I'm good to go on the next week. Yeah, I think we were a little bit sloppy. Obviously, I think the whole game we didn't play the best we could have, but I think we were clinical when we got our chances, and we didn't give them a sniff for a goal either, so can't take away from the boys. I think everyone played great, and we know we can all do better, and I think we just look to next week, and we got 3 points, so we should be all happy. Yeah, I think the gaffer and that obviously said that before the game. It's a great incentive going top 6, and personally I think it's a place that we should be pushing for that. So we need to be staying in that position, and we need to be keeping the same results for the next few weeks. Yeah, definitely. I think it's just one of those things everyone loves. I'll always remember it for the rest of my life, and it's my first one, and I was buzzing, and gives me confidence for the next few weeks as well. So hopefully I score one against Aberdeen next week as well.
Well, we certainly hope he scores against Aberdeen as well. It's a brilliant result though on Saturday. What did you think of it?
I agree with Gary in that I think we were not great first half, but I would still say we were the team that was well on top in the game, and I think we created by far the better chances.
Yeah, we created the most chances, I think.
Other than the one save Matty's pulled off in the first half, he's really had nothing to do throughout the game.
It's the only time they found space. It was Josh Mullen on the right.
But I thought, despite not playing great, we went in 2-0 up at half time, and the gaffer's touched that a lot, and that he wants us to maybe get more results when we're not playing particularly well. And I think we did do that yesterday. And second half though, I thought we were a lot better, and we were proper. We were pressing in packs rather than kind of ones and twos.
Dominated, absolutely bullied them all over the pitch.
I agree as well with obviously the gaffer and what you're saying, you and your assessment of it, especially the first half. I felt we were a bit lackadaisical in the first half. Too many players taking too many touches. A bit slowing the game down. When we did play the ball a bit quicker, we were almost Barcelona-esque with the 1-2s on the edge of the box.
The one with Pittman, where he's pulled off a good save from Baxter.
But as you say, despite us being not poor but not brilliant in the first half, we still created all the chances. They had very little of the game, and we've been saying it. We've been kind of going on about how luck's been against us this season. And I think the last few weeks it's kind of went for us slightly. We could look at the goals in the game, looking at London's second goal, and it's a bit of a ricochet, and it's fairly right in front of the goal. Would that have happened a few weeks ago? Probably not, the way our luck was going. So things have turned that way. Great result. I mean, they'll probably look at the whole build up to the game being disrupted and this, that and the next thing, but we can only play what's in front of us.
What I heard was
Quite literally shat themselves.
But what I heard was that it was only a couple of players and they cancelled training as a precaution. They only made 3 changes. They did not name a full bench as well. So they clearly weren't struggling that badly, but I'll tell you what, we'll get
exactly. We know what we're going to get.
That was the pitch as well.
The pitch. I think at the first, that obviously it was well sort of stated that that's the first ever player for Livingston to score a hat-trick in the Premier League.
And that was also Lyndon's first professional career as well. So well done to him. And it was the perfect hat-trick.
Header right foot, left foot.
So
Marvin Bartley running down the wing, putting a perfect ball right on his head.
It was, as Gary Neville would say, delicious.
But obviously we spoke about it last week as well. We mentioned it during our sort of preview of the game. 3 consecutive games for the first time scoring 3 or more goals.
Point,
which, that 10 goals in 3 games now.
We need a striker.
It's not good enough.
And we're now,
striker.
believe it or not, we're now the 4th highest scorers in the league.
And that's
Really?
with everyone
Yeah.
saying how we need a proven goal scorer
We're
striker.
4th highest scorers in the league.
I think that's
mad.
the big difference from last season.
I've said it a lot. I think we're
And
so much better going forward.
We're much better going forward. What comes with that is obviously we've lost
Yeah, we're a bit leakier at the back.
Kelly, Gallagher, Halkett.
Yeah.
But we're
But I'm
conceding
more
more
confident
goals.
we'll go into games and we'll score.
Yeah.
Rather
I think. We're saying we're a bit leakier at the back. I think the return of Big Al helped us
Yeah, it
a
did.
lot.
Yeah.
Solidified the defence, and that's 3 clean sheets in 5.
Yeah.
So things are progressing pretty well. We went on that really tough spell before the December fixtures when we had a really difficult run of games.
Yeah.
And we've came through that unbeaten in 5.
9 points from the games.
Into the top 6. I think we're the 4th highest in the last 6 games in the form table.
I think John Guthrie's been absolutely brilliant this season.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's gone unnoticed because I think he's probably been our best defender. But the likes of Dykes, Bartley, they're all getting the plaudits.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Wallace, going forward. But
Yeah.
I think John Guthrie is probably at the moment one of the first names on the team sheet.
I don't think you obviously mentioned Lawless. I don't think. I mean, everybody. Dykes is going to get the credit for the goals, but I think
Wallace
we've
is
got.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I think we've got to appreciate the wee reverse pass that he played for Dykes' first goal.
He's
so
How good
clever.
was that?
I think from that free kick, it looked like we were deliberately playing for the second ball because Dykes is standing miles offside,
Yeah.
away from everybody. The ball breaks, and then it comes to Wallace, and Dykes is in about 10 yards of space on his own. So I think that's something off the training ground.
But again, that only comes about for the reverse pass for Lawless.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Which is, if Messi done that
Yeah.
for Barcelona, people would be creaming themselves over that pass because we've seen players that would get that ball and lash at it over the bar. Nothing happens. That composure, that wee bit of cleverness for him to reverse the pass to him into space, great finish as well.
My personal highlight of yesterday was watching our right hand side
It was
in front of
tremendous.
us in the second
Yeah.
half. Lawson and Wallace were, to put it bluntly, they were taking the piss.
They
out of
actually
Ross
were.
County.
They actually were.
I thought one of them were going to get absolutely nailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just. I was the
Steve
same.
Lawson
Yeah.
starts nutmegging people
Yeah.
doing flick.
And he was doing it all the time. Every
Yeah.
time he got the ball, he was beating 2 or 3 men, opening up space.
Oh, he was outrageous yesterday.
I mean, we spoke about the first half and how we weren't up to much, but the second half is probably up there with the best we've played all season.
Yeah.
Because we absolutely steamrolled them.
And we could have easily scored another couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was really impressed with those two. Obviously, Dykes getting his hat trick. I thought Pittman, especially second half, started to look more like his old self.
Why are you passing, Pittman? Take a shot, man, for God's sake.
You need to watch that video for Tannadice again.
Exactly.
Because he can do it.
But the other player who we spoke about a lot on the podcast in recent weeks was Sibbald. I thought Sibbald again
Yeah.
done a really good job in front of the back four.
And I think we talked about the amount of goals we've scored in the last 3 games. I don't think it's a surprise that Sibbald's been in that team because he's the creative spark that we talked about earlier in the season that we didn't quite have.
Yeah.
Someone that's going to pass the ball forward, take a chance on a through ball, or and Sibbald does that.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Jordan Thompson a lot last season for that sort of 30-70 pass against him. Sibbald's a bit like that and does that, opens up the play, gets between the lines.
Yeah.
And 10 goals in 3 games, you can't argue with it.
Yeah.
We're scoring goals, we're creating chances, we're winning points.
And we've got another couple of games coming up where, on the run of form we were on, you would have looked at going, not so keen on
Exactly.
them, but we're playing a lot better, we're looking a lot more threatening, and you can be positive going into these 2 games before the break.
Definitely.
I believe every game Sibbald started we're unbeaten in.
Alright.
I believe
Really?
he came on as a sub at Hamilton, in which we were beaten, but the games he started, I'm sure we're unbeaten with him.
Right.
Well, there you
Maybe
go.
somebody can confirm that. I don't know, I might be wrong here. Is that Lammy's first Premiership goal?
Yes.
It is. So there's another sort of thing in the
Landmark.
history makings for the club there.
Which delighted Callum Waugh, one fan, who loves Ricky. Absolutely loves Ricky.
Aye, okay. Throw him under the bus there. Just obviously before we move on for this one, there's been a lot of talk this week about the gaffer Gary Holt and linked with the Kilmarnock job. I think there's a question about it later, so we'll not go into it too much just now. But what do we think?
I don't think he'll go. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if Kilmarnock made an approach. But sometimes with these jobs, you know, his dream job, etc., sometimes it's not the best thing to do.
I think it comes at the wrong time.
Yeah, I think he's settled at Livi. I think he's got a job where he's fairly comfortable. You know, and if he goes to Kilmarnock, I believe he still kind of stays there and his kids go to school there. He always makes kind of comments about, you know, when Livi play Killie, his laddie gets stick at school and all that sort of stuff. Now imagine if he went on a bad run as the manager. You know, that's the sort of thing I take into consideration. I spoke to Gary a few times. I'm sure he probably would take that into consideration as well.
He said it himself. I was reading an interview this week he'd done in the press. He's happy here. He says he comes to work with a smile on his face.
Yeah,
he's very settled, as you say.
Aye. So for me, I think Gary will stay put, but I also don't think Kilmarnock will approach. I think Killie.
It's the obvious link, isn't it? It's the obvious one. It's probably the
I
safe
think Killie
choice.
will probably end up going in a point in Dyer.
Yeah. We'll go into that a bit more detail later on during the sort of questions and that. But what a Christmas we've got. Top 6, 0 goals, 4 and against.
Point off fifth.
Point off of 5th. Can it get any better? Let's hope so on Boxing Day.
Yep. In our latest edition of our feature, What Does Your Fox In? Our take on the hit TV show Room 101, we argue our case to try and rid the football world of some of our biggest pet hates. Last week, Andy sadly won after he argued not beating the first man at a set piece was worst.
Good call again.
Callum, goalkeepers getting far too much protection, came in second, and I argued third kits, which came in surprisingly third.
This is great because I've honestly not had so many people agree with me ever in my life. That's 2 weeks in a row.
So this week we ask again in the name of one of our most Marmite players of all time, Liam Fox. Callum, what does your Fox in?
Strange squad numbers.
Why?
Because I don't know if it's a bit like OCD or it's a bit like, I don't know, I'm quite particular about the right back's got to be number 2, the left back's got to be number 3, your centre halves are 4, 5 or 6 depending on, you know, William Gallas for example used to wear number 10 for Arsenal at centre back. It just pissed me off.
What if someone else had the numbers already?
Pick 10.
What if a player signed?
It's fine if it's like number 20 or something, but a 10's a number. Like literally, players are called a number 10.
In Scotland, the lower leagues in Scotland, it's 1 to 11, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just once you get into the top flight that you can kind of pick and choose your numbers and what to play with.
It's just weird. Like you've got again another example. Wilfred Boney was number 2 at Swansea, played up front. Why? What are you doing?
Been like he does a right back.
It's just annoying though. It's like
But if that was
folk
the
doing
only number,
folk doing it for attention and stuff.
I mean, what if it's their lucky number though? Do you have a lucky number, Callum?
like Craig Halkett chooses to be number 26.
Yeah, but it's 26. You can play anywhere on the park with 26.
You can play anywhere on the park with any number.
He's not number 7 at centre back, is he? I think that.
So
which I think is just strange.
Their goalkeeper's number 11.
Yeah, absolutely not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable. He's not a left winger.
But they've retired the number 1 jersey for, you know, one of their ex-players.
He'd be 13 then.
Why 13? That's
Why
an unlucky
13?
number.
13's a. Yeah, you could say that. 13's usually a backup goalkeeper number. You've seen that.
But if that goalkeeper's really superstitious and doesn't want 13,
Well, maybe he can wear another number, not 11.
What
Any
about
other
Sheriff
number?
Tootie, my man, when he was number 91?
Yeah, I love Sheriff. That's fine, bud. Yeah. No, that was again. It's not like I think it's more 1 to 11 that pisses me off. Like,
so what you're saying, Callum, is you want Livingston to be relegated so that we wear 1 to 11 next season?
No, we're
We
fine.
still have squad numbers in the Championship.
I can't think of anybody that's got a strange number in us.
So he wants us relegated at least 2 or 3 divisions.
Yeah.
Because we had squad numbers in League 1.
We did have squad numbers.
You've got your midfielders: Bartley 6, Pittman 8, Keegan 7, Sibbald's 10, Lawless 11. That's all fine. Dykes number 9. Dykes isn't wearing number 3.
So do you think yesterday Lammy should have traded his
Lammy's
jersey?
he's a centre half though, isn't he? Let's be
He should have
honest.
traded his jersey because he played left back.
He
for
just
the
played
game.
left back for that game. We don't actually have a number 3. There's a.
There you go.
You know, Davy Martindale and Gary just go, Ricky, get back in, you need number 3. because Bruni will get annoyed.
Well, they weren't aware of it, so maybe
Well,
maybe they can do it on
I
Boxing
mean,
Day.
if you listen, I believe Davey does listen. So if you're listening, Davey, Callum's no happy with Lammy playing left back.
Well,
Number 5 on
away
his
and
back.
shite. Away and shite. It's just particularly.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Well, we'll see in the poll if anybody agrees with that. I have my doubts, but we'll see.
I think you might be third.
Ian.
Makes a change for you.
Oh.
I think you'll find I finished second one week.
What does your fox in, Ian?
What does my fox in is players not celebrating when they score against their previous clubs.
Okay.
Right.
Why?
Because
Reasoning?
Why?
folks say, oh, it's respect and all that, blah de blah. Like, Toddy scores against us last season, and it's like, mate, you were on loan for a year. Calm down, right? Just calm.
But he was well liked at the club, though.
So, right, you're now playing for Queen of the South.
Scored the last one, equaliser.
Celebrate, exactly. Scoring a goal is like the best feeling ever. Don't just go, put your hands up going, oh no, sorry guys, didn't mean to score. You know, really like my time here, please.
For
forgive
the
me."
benefit of the listeners, Ian's holding his hand up saying sorry for scoring.
You know, celebrate the goal. It's like one of the best feelings in football, right, is scoring a goal.
I'm not just saying this to like have a go or like.
That means he's saying this to have a go, Ian. So
No, I'm not saying it so I can try and win, for example.
you're not going to win anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably not. But I generally would be slightly annoyed if somebody. I wouldn't say over celebrated. I don't mind people like going and celebrating with their teammates if they scored against us. But I like the element of respect. Like, I think it's a nice gesture to go. Basically, as you was saying, you hold your hands up. And
It's a nicer gesture to go and celebrate with a club that you've just
I
scored
was
the
just
goal
going to
for.
say
Yeah, but
that there's an element. I know what you're saying, but is there
You've
not
got
an
history
element
with that club.
Is there not an element of respect that if they don't celebrate, they're kind of saying, "Oh yeah, I had a good time with you, but I'm now doing better."
It's one. It's
You know?
probably one game a year. Probably.
I can understand if
most
someone
leagues, one or
that
two
was
games
really
a year.
good for the club scored and ran over to our fans and slid on his knees and made gestures towards the fans. I totally get that, but I've not got an issue with an ex-player scoring and celebrating.
I don't have an issue with it. I just like when players show respect.
Honestly, like, there's some folk who go on loan, right? It's not even really your club, they're not even your employer, right? And they're like, oh no, sorry guys, sorry, really didn't mean to score against you, love you all, cheers. Right, piss off. Go and celebrate the goal. Do a big Adebayor, go sprinting the length of the park and slide in front of them. Celebrate the goal,
I think
man.
that's it. I don't mind celebrating goals with
He was
teammates.
getting called Judas for a whole game. Yeah, bloody go and slide in front of them.
I think that the one player that stands out for us is Danny Mullen. Now
Aye, bloody right.
he was a great servant to the club,
5.5 years,
I
he was
don't
good.
really understand the abuse he
No, I
takes
don't get
when
it.
we ever play him now. I don't understand that.
Fair, he's on his arse more than he's on his feet.
Yeah, but it was like that with us, and we all sort of went on how much of a hero he was, and all this, that, and the next thing. And
Right,
now
but-
every time we play him, I don't particularly think he's done overly much wrong against us.
No,
but he gets
That's the
absolute
thing.
dogs
He gets
abuse.
dogs abuse off our fans for being a good servant for the club. So
Yeah, it's strange.
tell you what, if he went and slid in front of our fans, I would totally understand why he would do it.
A couple of people booing Josh Mullen yesterday as well.
Yeah, I heard that as well. One of the reasons
And
why
one of the
we are
guys
where we
kept
are.
calling him Danny, which who knows? I think you've got your Mullins muddled up.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Josh was obviously a great servant, and we are where we are. One of the reasons we are is because of him. So.
I think it's a night. But so, for example, if Mullen scored yesterday, I think he's had a brilliant time at the club. He's obviously left, been over a year and a half now. If he scored, I think it would be a nice touch to go celebrate with your teammates, but don't.
I think it would
overdo
be a nice touch for him to celebrate and run about like a madman because he scored the goal. It's one of the best feelings ever. Honestly, oh no, don't celebrate, don't. Oh, you'll hurt their feelings.
I'm not saying don't celebrate, but I like the gesture.
you.
I like the respect gesture.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, I'm going for 3 in a row here. I think I've got it nailed on. What does my fox in is diving.
Oh, that's such a cop out. Isn't it?
It's not a cop out.
It is.
Does it not do your fox in?
No.
Does it do your fox in?
Oh, do you know what I'm going to pick next week? My team getting beat.
Does diving do your fox in?
Yes.
Yes.
I should be stamped out the game.
Yeah, exactly. And is it? No.
Yeah.
The referees don't clamp down on it enough. And I throw in the hat there. I throw in the hat there. Our players as well. There was an incident against St Mirren where Robinson clearly took a tumble, and it annoyed me as well.
I'll tell you what, Robbo gets the penalty. Brilliant.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced we say brilliant. I think okay, we got
Honestly,
a penalty.
if you got that
He shouldn't
penalty,
have done it.
I would have given you a high five.
To be fair, if we win that game from the penalty, he wins us. You're absolutely buzzing, but I do think it's bad.
I honestly think
It's cheating.
referees need to be harder on the players, and if they're not booked for it, it should be retrospectively taken and given a red card after the game.
That was the retrospectively for the listeners.
It should be a red card after the game. If it's not been picked up by the referee at the
I
time,
agree.
it's a red card. You're cheating your opposition.
I wouldn't say diving's a red card. Simulation's a
the
yellow.
only way you're going to clamp it out the game is if players realise, wait a minute here, if I take a tumble when I'm no touched, I'm going to get sent off and let my players down, let the fans
But
down.
what if the Robbo one, I think if Robbo goes into it, he'll get the contact anyway. He was down before. Like,
Exactly, so he took a dive. So he tried to con the referee to win a penalty.
But to an extent, like, see if you feel a nudge or something.
Yeah, but if you feel a nudge, a nudge
Scott Allen said that he felt somebody behind him.
Now think about how infuriated we were that night when we heard that Scott Allen actually took a dive rather than and won that penalty. Now if he didn't take a dive, didn't win that penalty, we'd probably go on and win that game.
I agree to an extent, but do you know there's a caveat to that?
A caveat?
Yeah, it's a big word.
I was going to say, is that like a food or something?
No,
that's caviar.
Yeah, of course you're thinking about food. Players staying on their feet probably annoys me more when there's contact. I don't think, and I think that's why people dive.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by referees need to be clearer with their decision making. Now, like you say, there's instances where
stay on your feet, you don't get a penalty.
An honest player will be fouled and stay up and go on and miss the target. And to me, the referee should bring that back, give a penalty because the player's been very honest and try to play on. Whereas if he goes down, he probably wins a penalty. So you're right in a way.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm saying is, it's when players didn't get touched at all, go down. Win something, it's infuriating, especially if you're on the end of it. Yeah, you're saying.
The thing is, how often do you actually see a penalty won through a blatant dive?
Yeah, but how many times?
How often do you see it? Like I watched.
But to be fair, even if it's not in the box,
exactly.
Right. I watched EFL highlights yesterday, and there were several occasions where yellow cards were given for diving. So there are incidents where it is being clamped down on. But I actually don't. How often does a decision genuinely get made where it's been a blatant dive? I saw it twice with Scotland. One was Michaelounis, the boy who played with Hearts, and there was against the Czech Republic. They got a last minute penalty to equalise. Right.
How annoying did you feel then?
I was also annoyed
It's got that, but that's
covering
covering like a 10-year period. And I can pick 3 instances where I've noticed someone blatantly diving against a team that I'm watching.
Scott Allen?
Yeah, Scott Allen's the other one I'm referring to. But there's not actually that many.
But just because it's not happening against us doesn't mean it doesn't happen against others.
But I don't care if it happens against
I'm
others.
talking about...
I only care about
a
Scotland.
decision. I mean, a big decision could cost a manager his job, could cost a person their living, could cost a club hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah, but Milan Baros was a striker for Liverpool and he wore number 5. So that's more annoying.
Okay. Well, we'll put it to our listeners on Twitter. It goes up on Tuesdays, as we all know by now. Keep a lookout for that. Callum, what does your Fox in this week? Just a wee reminder for them.
Bloody weird squad numbers.
Ewan.
Not celebrating against your ex-clubs.
And diving for me. Look out for that poll. It's a busy week this week, 2 games to preview. So first up, we'll take a look at our game on Boxing Day. It's a trip north to face Aberdeen. Can we keep our unbeaten December run going?
I genuinely think we can. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why right now.
You tell us why, Callum.
I think a lot of it could come down to Sam Cosgrove. He was obviously sent off against Celtic at the weekend there. He's their only threat, I think. You could argue that the last game we played, which was at home obviously, I don't think Aberdeen deserved to win that for starters.
No. But
Cosgrove was out for that one, I believe. He only came on with about 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Won a penalty and scored. Still,
It might not be out though. I don't know if you've seen the tackle at Celtic. I don't know
Yes.
your opinion on
it's
it.
a weird one. I don't know.
I think they'll appeal, and if they do appeal, will it get heard before Thursday? I'm not convinced, which would then allow it to play.
That does my fox.
See for me, yeah, Cosgrove scored a lot of goals, but I'd be more concerned playing against Wilson.
Bit more pace.
Wilson's no. Not
Personally, I think Cosgrove kind of fits better without like someone they'll just try and hit. And I think we've got Guthrie and Lithgow who can handle that. I think.
You say that though, but I think Cosgrove scored 21 goals for Aberdeen this season, and their next highest scorers on 4. I think is it Hedges and McGinn on 4, and Cosgrove on 21. So there is a correlation there between Cosgrove's
Tell you, I don't want
running the show there.
Tell you, I don't want to play against Conor McLennan, which is a bit of a weird one. I've got a couple of mates that are Aberdeen fans from uni, and they're kind of annoyed that Conor McLennan's not featuring enough.
I don't think I'll ever forget that mid-meet game where he absolutely tore Bobby Burns a new one when he came on in that second half.
Yeah,
absolutely tore us apart.
He was outrageous that night,
and him and Bruce Anderson can't get a look in.
I think the thing is with Aberdeen, it's a strange season for them because they're still sitting fairly well in the league, but there's talk of McInnes's job.
I'm not getting into it too much because I'd literally bicker with him all the time about it.
There's a talk of McInnes's job. There's a talk of poor form.
Shit, the third, you think they were Hearts?
Fourth now, obviously after results.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're comfortably going to finish in the top 4. And there's a lot of change going on up at Pittodrie just now. Players going in and out.
Training grounds, all that sort of stuff.
So I mean, I find it really bewildering that any Aberdeen fan is calling for McInnes to go, to be honest.
I heard Stuart Milne on the radio yesterday, about 10-15 minute interview. If anybody listening to this thinks we're dull and thinks this is a boring listen, go listen to that. Honestly, absolutely. And the accent, I'm not getting right.
I'm not getting into it, but let me just say something here.
Apologies to anyone offended.
No, I think it'll be a tough game. Aberdeen, however, Aberdeen don't seem to be quite as good at Pittodrie, I don't think.
You say that.
What's their form like this season?
They've only lost one at home in the league, and that was against Celtic.
Yeah.
So I think that's 9 games they've played at home.
Last season, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, last season they actually had better results on the road than they did at Pittodrie.
Hamilton went up there and won. Yeah. St Mirren took points.
They've lost 1 in 9 games, and that was against Celtic, and they're averaging 2 points a game at home, which is very good form, to be fair. Even though they're not playing overly well. I mean, they only just stumbled across the line against Hamilton a few weeks ago. 1-0.
And St Mirren.
Yeah, and St Mirren.
They're not winning convincingly.
No.
I think we're more than capable of going up there and getting something.
Well, that's the thing.
We went there twice last season. The 3-2 game, don't get me wrong, the second half was an absolute onslaught, but we all took a 95th minute winner.
Yeah, well, that was a long trip home.
And then the other game we drew 1 each, which arguably we could have taken more from. So I think we're more than capable of going up there and getting a result. And we're in good form.
Yeah.
So I'm not overly concerned about the game.
I mean, we mentioned.
But I think it will be
we mentioned Hamilton and St Mirren going up there and giving them a game.
Yeah,
we're better than Hamilton and St Mirren.
We'll definitely give them a game. We should have beat them at home.
Yeah,
that's the most frustrating game of the season.
Exactly.
We talk about we've thrown away some 2-goal leads. That game, how have they beat us 2-0?
Yeah, they've come and they've kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
They've had 2 shots. Said I wasn't getting into it.
You're angry, mate.
Yeah, we've actually got a better record at Pittodrie against Aberdeen than we do at home. Yeah. But our last win there,
2004.
Correct. 2004. It was the 21st of March, which was the week after.
The cup final.
We won 2-1 there.
Right.
Colin McMenamin scored the winner.
McMenamin scored, but O'Brien was the winner.
O'Brien the winner?
Late winner. Imagine a late winner in Aberdeen.
Yeah. No, I mean, like you say, I don't think we have to go up there and be overly concerned. The way we are playing just now, I would take on anybody outside Rangers and Celtic.
They get a goal usually. It seems they get a goal and they don't.
I was just going to say that in the games involving Aberdeen and Livingston, 73% of the games of both teams have scored at Pittodrie. So there's a wee stat for coming into predictions and a wee
Another stat though that's slightly annoying. Could change at the weekend, hopefully. Say the weekend, it's Thursday. But the only team we've not beaten since we were promoted in the Premiership
Is Aberdeen.
Aberdeen. Beating Celtic and Rangers. But we can't beat them.
To be fair, last season I would argue that they were probably the best team to come to Livingston, and I think that result
Yeah, they beat us
proves
both.
it. You know,
Beat
they
us both.
pretty convincingly.
Yeah, the 2-1 game at New Year last year,
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the good thing for us as well is we've got a bit of a settled side now. You know, we've got Lawson playing out his skin at right back, solid goalkeeper. Liff goes back, he'll probably play with Guthrie, and you'd imagine Lammy will play at left back again, because I believe Taylor Sinclair's now out injured for a period of time. I don't know how long, but he's now out.
The other key bit I was just kind of thinking of in comparison to the last game is we'll have Dykes.
Yeah.
You know, we played Robbo up top
That's a great shout.
against them last time, and I think Dykes could. I'm not a fan of McKenna. I don't see where the hype comes.
No.
The big fridge.
The big fridge. And who else? They've got Ash Taylor,
Andy Considine.
Considine. I think
I can't beat them all in a race.
I think
I'd like to see that race.
I think Dykes could give them an absolute torrid time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and Lawless as well.
Yeah,
I think we've seen. The only other thing that I would say is Suda came off yesterday, and the management team didn't look overly impressed by his decision not to pass the Dykes.
Yes,
at one point, and Suda kind of stormed into the dugout, and so will we see some sort of recurrence for that? Will he maybe drop out the team for some backlash given?
Who knows? Who knows?
We'll see.
Gary and Davey don't tend to change a team that's getting results. I mean, the change that came in yesterday was forced.
Yep.
Which was Lithgow coming in for Taylor Sinclair and obviously Lammy moving to left back. So there's a good chance that they might stick with the same 11.
So predictions then. We've came to that point in the podcast where we're going to predict the score. So who wants to go first?
I'll let the league leader go first.
Wow, what a pleasure. I think Cosgrove, as I mentioned, being missing will, I think, impact the game a lot. And you mentioned as well Dykes coming back. So I don't think we'll win, but I definitely think we'll go there, we'll give them a game. I'll go 2 each.
I was going to go 2 each as well. Genuinely, that's along the same lines. Aberdeen generally always score, but I think we're looking very good going forward. And I think it'll almost be a similar type game to what it's been recently.
I'll tell you that.
I think it's almost been a similar type game. This one where we'll play pretty well, but they'll kind of go at us big style, especially if we're ahead in the game. And maybe, but I would take a point right now, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm going 1 each.
We're all going draws.
Wow. It's the only way you'll catch me. I'm copying you.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, 1 each.
Sorry, I meant you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because if we copy you, then we're not going to catch you because we'll get the same points as you, Callum.
That's how it works. Yeah. Well, I meant to say the only way you'll get it right.
Right. Okay.
Okay, Callum. You can have a wee rethink about it next week before we come to this section.
Yes,
Before you come out with
exactly.
any insults, that'd be great.
But I mean, let's hope we get continue a good form in December, get a positive result up in Pittodrie, and we'll take that forward to the game against Hibs on Sunday.
So return of TalkLivi Question time now. We asked you during the week to get in touch with some questions for us. So we've got a few to get through, but first up, how happy have we been with our December results so far?
I'm quite happy.
Content.
What, we 9 points in December? What did we kind of
suggest? We said 10.
10.
So we're in the ballpark. So if we get the point that we're predicting, then we're bang on it. And obviously
I think we will as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, the thing is though, you without going over old ground, we lost our last minute goal against Hearts, and we should have beat Hamilton as well.
Should have beat St Mirren.
Yeah, St Mirren. So we could be sitting here with 12 points for the 4 games in December. 9's good.
Yeah.
I think 9's better than good, but
it'll be 13 points.
We could have had a lot more, but yeah.
Could have had a lot more because you realise you've done your maths.
But to answer the question, I'm pretty content with that.
Yeah, I'm happy.
5 unbeaten as well.
Yeah. Next question. Who do we think will leave the club either permanently or on loan in the January transfer market? Also linked to this question is about players potentially moving on in the summer on pre-contracts. So thoughts, boys?
I don't think anyone will move on really in January in terms of
I'd like to hope not.
in terms of kind of first team guys that are regulars.
Certainly not permanently.
Nah.
Potentially on loan.
Well, I'm actually excited now that Sybil's been playing a lot because we were talking
We were, yep.
even what, maybe 4 or 5 games ago
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were.
about
Absolutely.
he's potentially gonna.
But you know what?
leave.
Now I don't see him
No,
moving.
absolutely.
Personally, I don't see a lot of movement in or out. There might be the odd one that goes out on loan, but you know who that would be, I'm not sure.
I heard shouts from Partick Thistle fans that they wanted Erskine back because apparently they're getting Dillon back
Right.
in January. So and
that-
Ian McCall.
That wouldn't overly surprise me. I mean, we've been on record every year now saying that in order to bring people in, we'd need to let people go, which is the club's stance, and it has
Came
been.
on, it did well yesterday though.
He did. The only other one I would look at is potentially a Dauphin. Now, we've got Devlin, who's obviously out injured just now, who's a right back, McMillan, and now Lawson, who's stamped his authority in that position right now. Then you've also got a Dauphin there, who's probably not going to get much game time now. So he's potentially one that might go out on loan.
He's a backup striker.
The other,
Stobbs.
well, I think, I mean,
That's
going
loan
by...
only till January. So
Also going by, I think, I can't remember if it was Gary that said it a few weeks ago.
Gary said he was back
that
down.
he was back down getting treatment.
So I
I
don't.
can't see him being back.
I think
to be honest.
he'll be away.
Yeah, Tiffany potentially going out on loan. I think his contract
Save us a lot of
contract
money.
up at the end of the season.
Lawless's contract's up, isn't it?
Yes, and
Wallace
worrying
is
in
the
January.
one pre-contract wise.
yeah, he's the one that
He's
concerns
one
me the most.
I would be desperately trying to tie down.
If there's any kind of business we're going to do in January, that would be number one
It's
priority for
even
me.
in January though, if clubs are looking at it 6 months to go, and maybe I don't know. I presume he's very happy at Livingston, but I don't know. Maybe a club comes in, and if he it was like what Danny Mullen left in January when he maybe wasn't going to sign a contract,
Yeah.
and it's you have the fear of, do we just have to take the money now,
Yeah.
as opposed to losing him for free. But I would hope that he would sign. But
I think the best
it's a worry.
bit of January business is if we could get him tied down.
for sure, yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, that's keeping a hold of him would be my number one priority over the January window.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible footballer.
Yeah, brilliant. He's been excellent since he joined. What are our thoughts on the impending Lyndon Dykes transfer saga that many predict? Don't realise there was that many folk predicting it. Will he stay or go? What price should we be demanding if he goes? And who do we replace him with? That's about 10 questions.
I was going to say.
So, personally, I don't see a transfer saga happening yet. Main reason for it, he's only played a handful of games at this level. Granted, he's done brilliantly, but I think I would be more concerned in the summer.
Yeah. I'm
Bit like when Liam Kelly
and a
had his full season in the top flight.
2.5 year deal.
Yeah,
and he's still
exactly.
got.
I'm kind of along that same opinion that he's doing really well with us. I don't think anybody can argue. There's big clubs being linked to him. QPR was the recent one that was mentioned for him to go to. But as you say, he's only played at the level this season.
Yeah.
I think he's still got a lot to prove, and if he continues to do it right to the summer, then the summer is a concern.
The best way for him to develop is by playing games, and by going to somewhere like QPR. You know, they've got, who's it, the boy Hugo and Naki Wells, who are like established championship strikers. Is he going to go in straight ahead of them?
Exactly.
You know,
it's difficult. Yeah.
And it's the same with kind of a few other clubs. I think Hull was another one that was mentioned. They've got Bowen and Grosicki, you know, who are scoring a lot of goals for them.
Yeah, he wouldn't walk into these
I think the one thing that obviously doesn't concern me, but when we spoke to him a few podcasts ago, I can't remember, was it episode
September.
9? He mentioned that his ultimate goal was to go down south and play.
Yeah.
So if that option came forward, would he turn it down at this stage? I doubt it.
Yeah.
But it needs to be the right offer for both him and the club. I remember there's a question there.
The best bit is we are in total control.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, with him still having 2.5 years on his contract. I think it was quite smart giving him that 1 year extension straight away.
Straight away.
I think we realised that we'd got a nugget.
Yeah.
And Dykes.
And finally we've got it right. No, we keep talking about losing Halkett for nothing, losing Gallagher for nothing.
Yeah.
We're not going to lose Dykes for nothing. This is good business by the club. Going to the sort of second part of that question, what price should we be demanding? Callum, thoughts on a sort of price for him if that ever comes about?
It's a strange one. The market's mental.
This market's really difficult to
I
assess.
think anything less of $1 million to English clubs, I think's pocket change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't think we get $1 million.
I don't think we would get $1 million for him. That's it. But you never know. Maybe in the summer.
Tell you what, ask the question.
Yeah, absolutely. If the team wants him enough, like you say, it's pocket change to a club like QPR in the Championship.
That's the thing. With you were mentioning with the likes of Halkett, Liam Kelly, we're now in the driving seat.
Mm-hmm.
They were out of contract and things like that.
Yeah.
But we're now in the driving seat. He's got 2.5 years left.
Mm-hmm.
We can ask for whatever we want.
I personally think $500,000 is probably
more realistic.
A realistic target, but there's no reason why we can't ask for that million.
Tony Andrew moved from Hamilton Accies, right?
That was dodgy, but
down south for £1 million.
Yeah.
If Andrew is capable of getting £1 million transfer fee paid for him, you know,
yeah. And then
why not ask the question? If
and then the last part of that question, if he doesn't move on, is there any targets you would be looking at? Ronaldo, Messi?
Yeah, I'm sure that £1 million will cover like an hour of their wage. I haven't. To be totally honest, I've not really thought about who we would target, but I think it would be another kind of similar move as we've done with Dykes, which is
Kevin Nisbet.
You know, going down into the divisions below, and
the other one that would probably we would look at is sort of European player. You know, we're diving into that sort of foreign market just now.
Well, there was folk trying to link us with Bafétimbi Gomez on the forum. I think he's getting an hour what we're playing folk a year.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think that's probably beyond us. But that's another market that we're kind of diving into. So there's potential nuggets, as you call them, in Europe that we could look at for a reasonable price.
I just want to touch on if anybody knows with regards to Jack Hamilton, can he come back in January or?
I mean, I can't remember what the.
I don't know what the script is with that. If anybody listening knows,
I remember specifically Rafa had a clause where he could be called back in January. I can't remember anything.
Rafa,
The thing is with Jack is he's not featured much recently. He was on the bench again at the weekend there.
Actually, he was injured. My dad was down when they played Ayr a few weeks back and he came off in the first 10 minutes. Right. So he'd missed a couple of games.
That's just, I wouldn't say shocked me there, but that's just gone, how good is our squad? We've got players like Rafa on loan
now. I think he's struggling a bit for Hill, to be honest. I don't think the Partick fans have taken him too much, which surprises me because he's technically a very good player. So another one that we could potentially look at.
But to have players of that quality on loan shows how well we're doing.
Yeah.
So next question we had is the top 6 a realistic target for us this season?
Yes. Obviously the overall target is to stay in the league and we shouldn't get above that.
It would be a bonus.
We should do exactly what we done last year, get enough points to be safe as early and as quickly as we can, and then see where we are at that point.
It's mental what a win does, isn't it?
I mean, we've mentioned it for weeks and weeks now how poor a standard the league is. The teams that we're playing.
Anyone could be anyone.
Yeah, and I've honestly not seen anybody that we should be concerned about outside Rangers and Celtic.
I mean, you look at us just now, we're on 22 points, and I would say the safety mark's probably about 35.
Yeah.
Right? To avoid the playoff spots. So you're talking another 13 points.
Yeah.
4 wins.
4 wins.
We say it every year though, we say every year 10 wins gets you safe.
Right.
So we're halfway there for wins.
Yeah. So, and then you get your draws and everything elsewhere. So I think we're well on target for meeting what the overall goal is, which is staying in the league.
Yeah.
Point off fifth. I think, of course, it's a target. It's probably, I don't know. As I was saying there, I think it would be a bonus. We've got. I'd probably take 10th right now, to be honest with you.
I think we all would. Let's not get away from the fact that we've got the lowest budget in the league. We're punching well above our weight, but the target should be better what we done last season. I think that's the target that we set ourselves.
We're in the top 6 at Christmas.
Yeah.
What's been the line we've heard from most of the guys this season? Point more than last season's improvement, which is.
Yeah.
So if we can, I'd love us to try and push to the top 6. But I always remember Stevie Lawless saying in his interview when we talked about when he finished in the top 6 with Partick Thistle, he was like, "I'm not going to go and tell my grandkids about that." Right, but
financially for the club, it's beneficial
because you get an extra game with either Celtic or Rangers,
more prize money.
You likely have bigger crowds because you're playing the bigger clubs.
And we'll definitely finish 6th. I think that's a bit of a weird thing. I've seen folk finishing 7th and 8th with more points than 6th.
Yeah.
But we're still 6th, so
exactly
that would be fantastic.
So, final question this week, and we touched on it a bit earlier. Our thoughts on the rumours linking Gary Holt with Kilmarnock. So
it's obvious rumours, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy has a Kilmarnock tattoo on his calf.
Exactly.
And we've chatted on plenty of times, and he never hides that he is a Kilmarnock fan.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's looking on and interested at the situation as a fan as well.
Here they got a season ticket in that new standing section.
Have you seen that? You see, it was empty at the weekend. What's the point?
But I personally think Gary's happy where he is. I think he kind of shot down someone in the press this week about it a little bit as well, from what I was told.
Did he get a gun in the press?
Maybe not literally, but I think he's happy where he is. I think
Holt shoots journalist.
Callum, what are you thinking on that situation then? Not on the shoots journalist.
Hands off.
Yeah.
Hands off. I think he's happy where he is. Again, we touched on it earlier, but he loves the club. I think he's been here a year and a half now. We're doing great. We're sitting here talking about potentially top 6.
Yeah. I think that the counter to that, and I'm not saying that he will go, but when that first got announced, my initial thinking was it's a 2-horse race between Holt and Dyer. I think Dyer is in the driving seat because he's there. The chairman and the sort of club management know what he's all about.
Well, you think they've probably had to pay off Alessio,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and
but they're not going to. I don't think
not
they'll get a big
3-year contract or something they gave him. So, and Alessio is quite a biggish name, right?
Yeah.
He's worked at clubs like Juventus, Chelsea, etc. So, I reckon they won't be in a position where they'll be able to go and take a manager from
Here's a question for you though. Here's a question, not to put you on the spot. Kilmarnock chairman phones Gary Holt, phones the club and says the job's yours if you want it. What does Gary Holt say?
I don't know.
I think he'd say no.
I personally think he would say yes. I mean, I hope that doesn't come about, but he's a Kilmarnock fan.
That's it. See, as soon as Alessio was sacked, my first thought is, oh no.
He's a Kilmarnock fan. Does he turn down that opportunity that might not come about again? I mean, he's been desperate. He applied the last time for the job, never got it. I think he would be desperate to get that job. It's his boyhood club. He lives there. I know your argument.
There's a thing with timing. It'd be difficult to go in there and okay, they're 5th. I know that, but a couple of bad results recently. It would be difficult to go in there and lift it.
Absolutely.
Whereas we're on the up.
Yeah, it's one of them. It could go either way, and it's amazing how seasons can turn in a few results. A few weeks ago, we had guys shouting for him to be sacked and crazy, and now a lot of these people are saying, "Oh, Holt we trust. We don't want him to go." It's amazing how football can turn like that, and you just don't know. Like you say, he's in a stable job at Livingston, probably the safest job in the Premiership right now.
Yeah, that's
Aberdeen
the other
fans
thing.
would argue McInnes, obviously.
That's the other thing I think with it. I think he's got a job where I don't think we're going to do a knee-jerk reaction and go and sack him. I think even if I hope not, even if we were to go down, I think he would still be given time in the Championship.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think our board are realistic and know the constraints financially we're up against in order to compete in this league. So I think that's another thing for Welsh Kilmarnock. Well, they've just went and sacked Alessio and they're sitting in the top six.
Sitting in the top six, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely, yeah. So there we go. That's kind of our thoughts and all those questions.
Don't go, Gary.
Thanks for getting in touch this week. We do this every so often, fire in a few questions so we get different ones. So we'll probably do it after the year and things and get more. So thanks again for firing your questions in.
Finally this week we're going to look ahead to Sunday's game as we face Hibs at the Tony Macaroni Arena. How do we see this one going, guys?
I think it'll depend on obviously what happens on Thursday. You know, are we still?
It's always difficult doing these previews, isn't it?
It is when there's two games.
Are we still unbeaten? Have we could get beat 5-0? You never know. So, but I think we watched Hibs on Friday night. They didn't look that great. They were absolutely battered.
They were wide open. I think more than we were. I think because of I was going to mention about their midfield. You know, it's almost the same type of player that they're trying to fit round pegs and square holes in that middle of the park just now. Whereas it's our strongest position just now.
If only they had a defensive midfielder that they didn't let go for free.
Yeah, they can run down the wing and just do everything.
I think they've been playing almost a diamond.
Yeah.
But like Boyle's playing in a diamond.
Yeah. It doesn't work. That's what I mean.
Boyle's a winger, a wide player.
Because they're trying to fit both Canberry and Doidge up front.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a two-striker system. It's just not working.
You know, so it's not. Yeah, as you say, they're just trying to fit players into a team, but the system really doesn't fit.
Yeah.
The guys who are on the park. So I think Jack Ross has still got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully gets sacked soon as well.
You've really got a dislike to Jack Ross.
I don't like him. He does my fox on the day, actually.
I think a lot of that probably stems from his time at St Mirren.
Don't get me started.
I think the incident when
classless, really.
When he ran into our dugout, didn't he, and celebrated in front of Hopkin, and Hopkin just about lynched him at that point.
Yeah. Wouldn't get on the wrong side of Hoppy.
No.
I think Hoppy would have eaten him alive, to be honest.
Back to the game.
Yeah, back to that.
I think
we would have matched them at Easter Road.
Yeah, we did. We should have won that game. And Hibs' away record isn't exactly brilliant. They've not kept a clean sheet away from home this season yet.
Yeah, despite Jack Ross going in, you talk about the new manager bounce. Their form's been still really patchy. They've had some, don't get me wrong, some brilliant results like Aberdeen. You know, comfortably beat them, but then you know they've had some other kind of dodgy results in amongst that.
Is that the last three they've lost? I know they've obviously played Celtic and Rangers in the two of the three, but is that 3 games in a row they've now lost?
They got beat by Ross County,
yeah. So
battered.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do for Jack at Hibs, and it's like you say, it's difficult to sort of look so far ahead.
Jack.
Is it worth mentioning they've got the derby on Boxing Day as well?
Exactly, yeah. And I think is Porteous out for the game because obviously straight red, that'll be 2 games suspended, isn't it? Yeah. So he'll miss the derby and miss us. So
I'd rather he played. I think he's hopeless. Honestly, I don't understand the hype with him either. It's like McKenna. Hibs fans seem to rave about him.
Yeah,
he's not that good, personally.
Yeah, and obviously our home form's now picking up a bit. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't up to the same sort of level as last season.
That's the difference.
And teams notoriously aren't enjoying coming into Livingston, and Hibs, you know, the sort of form that they're in just now, will no fancy, I don't think.
No. I think we're more than capable. Again, there's not a team in the league that I've seen this season, take out the Old Firm, right, that I'm scared of playing. I think pretty much every game is actually almost a bit unpredictable, the league this year.
We were saying earlier,
I think anyone can take points off anyone, so I'm confident we can take something against Hibs as well.
I mean, folk have a go at our away record, but Hibs away record's pretty disastrous as well, to be fair. They're averaging losing 2 goals a game away from home.
Yeah.
Like I said, they've not kept a clean sheet away from home in the league.
Yeah.
That's pretty damning for a team as the size of Hibs. So we should be going into that game confident. As you say, it's difficult to assess it right now before the game's on Boxing Day. But
3 clean sheets in our last 3 home games.
Exactly. and they're shipping goals away from home, so we should be
and we're
confident.
scoring goals.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I think we'll score against them. I think we'll be able to open them up because Hibs typically play quite open.
They do, yeah.
So,
and Jack Ross is that type of manager.
Yeah.
He likes to play that open, expansive game that we can get at. We've got the players that'll hurt them.
That can hurt them.
I think that their top goal scorers, Deutsch, 7. I think, and that's only just. I mean, he's only started
Very
scoring recently.
in November, right?
And then I think that after that, Scott Allen with 4 and Boyle with 3.
Yeah.
Who obviously both scored against us early in the season.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there we can be confident about going into the game.
What are we thinking results wise then?
I'll go first this time.
You want me to just copy you? I'm joking.
I'm really confident going into this one, which is maybe dangerous, but I think 2-1 Livingston.
I was going 2-1 as well.
We're not all going to. Bruni kind of raised his eyebrows there.
1 each.
1 each.
I'd take a point. I think we're capable of beating them, but it's just whether we will or not. But I don't know. I think they're good. They are
overly cautious, Callum.
Yeah, I am being overly cautious. 2 points from what Pittodrie and
Keeps
home
the
to Hibs.
unbeaten run going, doesn't it?
Well, I think that would be. I'd certainly take 2 points from the 6 at the moment.
If we don't take 9 points, I think Holt has to go.
Yeah. You can go, Kilmarnock. Doesn't take 9 points from these next 2 games.
But yeah, I mean, that's our predictions. Callum, you were 1-1. We both agreed 2-1 Livingston, so we're pretty confident in the next 2 games, Aberdeen and Hibs. Let's hope we're right for a change.
We're a really big club.
Where did that come from?
Fair enough, Callum.
Confident about beating these established Premier League clubs.
But you're not confident. You've just predicted 2 draws.
Sorry, yeah. Good point.
Another mind fart for Callum there.
No, but we're not predicting us to be.
I swear he does go to university.
He has his head in his hands right now.
He is quite an intelligent laddie at times, but
predicting us to go to Pittodrie, not get beat, and play Hibs, who are notoriously a good side.
I mean, you're not predicting us to play Hibs. We're playing Hibs regardless of that prediction.
See when this recording's finished, you're getting slapped.
But yeah, that's our wee preview of the Hibs game. Hopefully we can pick up the points and maintain our form in December as well. That's it for another episode of TalkLivi, our last episode before Christmas. Before we finish up, it's time to get a little bit serious just for a minute. Christmas is a time for joy and family, but we know for some people it's a bit of a horrible time of the year. So whatever you're doing this Christmas, look after one another. If you're struggling, there's always someone to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you don't feel like you can talk to someone you know, don't forget there's Samaritans, and the number is 116 123. That's 116 123. So reach out if you're struggling. There's always someone there for you.
You can find TalkLivi on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter by just searching for TalkLivi. Hit like and follow there to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. You can also find this episode and all of our other episodes on all good podcast streaming sites, including iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud and many more.
All our episodes are also on our website, talklivipodcast.libsyn.com. We are now up and running with YouTube. You can find us by searching TalkLivi. If you could hit the subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. So go give us a listen, and if you like, leave a review as well. All your feedback's welcome, good or bad.
So from you and Callum and myself, thanks for listening to TalkLivi. We'll be back again next week to take a look back at another busy week following the club. But for now, Merry Christmas to you all, and thanks again for listening.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Crimbo.